Cleopatra first met Mark Antony, she pursed up his heart upon the river of Cydnus. I will tell you, the barge she sat in, like a burnished throne, burned on the water. The deck was beaten gold, purple the sails, and so perfumed that the winds were lovesick with them. The oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster, as amorous of their strokes. For her own person, it beggared all description. She did lie in her pavilion, cloth of gold of tissue, or picturing that Venus wherein we see the fancy outwork nature. On each side her stood pretty, dimpled boys like smiling cupids, with divers colored fans, whose wind did seem to glow the delicate cheeks which they did cool, and what they undid did. The gentlewomen, like the Nereides, so many mermaids, tended her in the eyes and made their bends adornings. Age cannot wither her, or custom stale her infinite variety.
Nay, but this dotage of our generals o'erflows the measure. His captain's heart, which in the scuffles of great fights hath burst the buckles on his breast, reneges all temper. It has become like the bellows and the fan to cool a gypsy's lust. Oh, look where they come! Take but good note that you shall see in him the triple pillar of the world, transformed into a trumpet, full of all the sea.
If it be love indeed, tell me how much.
There's beggary in the love that can be reckoned.
I'll set a born how far to be beloved.
Oh, then must thou needs find out new heaven, new earth.
News, my good lord, from Rome.
Breaks me the sum.
Nay, hear then, Antony. Fulvia, perchance, is angry. Or who knows if the scarce bearded Caesar had not sent his powerful mandate to you. Do this or this. Take in that kingdom and franchise this, perform it, or else we damn thee.
Oh, my lord.
Oh, perchance, nay, and most like you must not stay here longer. Your dismission has come from Caesar, therefore hear it, Antony. What is Fulvia's process? Oh, Caesar's, I should say. Both? Call in the messengers. As I am Egypt's queen, thou blushest, Antony. And their blight of thine is Caesar's homager, else so thy cheek pays shame when shrill-tongued Fulvia scolds. The messenger!
Let Rome in Tiber melt, and the wide arch of the ranged empire fall. Here is my space. Kingdoms are clay. Our dungy earth alike feeds beast as man. The nobleness of life is to do thus. When such a mutual pair, and such a twain can do it, in which I bind on pain of punishment, to read we stand up peerless.
Oh, excellent. Falsehood. Why did he marry Fulvia and not love her? I'll seem the fool I am not. Antony will be himself.
But stirred by Cleopatra. Now, for the love of love and her soft hours, let's not confound the time with confidence harsh. There's not a minute of our lives should stretch without some pleasure now. What sport tonight?
Hear the ambassador.
Oh, fly, wrangling queen, whom everything becomes. To chide, to laugh, to whose every passion fully strives to make itself in thee fair and admired. No messenger but thine, and all alone tonight, will wander the streets and note the qualities of people. Come on, my queen. Last night you did desire. Speak not to us.
Is Caesar with Antony a surprise so slight?
Sir, sometimes when he is not Antony, he comes too short of that great property, which still should go with Antony.
Sweet anything, Alexis!
Iris!
Almost, most absolutely!
Stop!
Where's the soothsayer you praised so to the queen?
Soothsayer!
Your will.
Oh, it's you that know things.
In nature's infinite book of secrecy, a little I can read.
Show him your hand.
Give me good fortune.
I make not, but foresee.
Pray then, foresee me one.
You shall be yet far fairer than you are.
He means in flesh.
You shall paint when you are old.
Wrinkles forbid.
That's not his prescience. Be attentive.
Hush.
You shall be more beloving than beloved.
I had rather heat my liver with drinking.
Oh, nay, hear him.
Good now, some excellent fortune. Let me be married to 3 kings in a forenoon, and widow them all. Let me have a child at 50. Then marry me to Octavius Caesar.
Octavius Caesar.
And companion me with my mistress.
You shall outlive the lady whom you serve.
Oh, excellent. I love long life better than figs.
You have seen improved a fair former fortune than that which is to approach.
Out, fool! I forgive thee for a witch.
You think none but your sheets are privy to your wishes.
Nay, come. Tell Iris hers. Yes.
Mine and most our fortunes tonight shall be drunk to bed.
There's a palm presages chastity, if nothing else. Even as the overflowing Nile presages diamond.
Good, wild bedfellow, you cannot soothsay.
Your fortunes are alike,
But how? Give me the particulars.
I have said.
Am I not an inch fortune better than she?
Well, if you were but an inch of fortune better than I, where would you choose it?
Not in my husband's nose.
Hush. Here comes Antony.
The nature of sad news affects the teller.
When it concerns the fool or coward, no. Things that are past are done with me. It is thus. Speak to me home, man. Mince not the general tongue. Name Cleopatra as she is called in Rome. Or rail thou in Fulvia's phrase and taunt my faults. The news.
Fulvia, thy wife, is dead.
Where died she?
In Sicyon.
Forbear me. There's a great spirit. Gone. Thus did I desire it. What our contempt doth often hurl from us, we wish it ours again. She's good being gone. From this enchanting queen I must break off. 10,000 harms more than the ills I know my idleness doth hatch. How now, Enobarbus?
What's your pleasure, sir?
I must with haste from hence.
Why, then we kill all our women. We see how mortal and unkindness is to them.
I
But must be gone. Cleopatra, catching but the least noise of this, dies instantly. I have seen her die 20 times upon far poor moment.
She is cunning past man's thought.
Oh, alack, sir, no. Her passions are made of nothing but the finest parts of pure love. We cannot call her winds and water, sighs and tears. No, they are greater storms and tempests than almanacs can report.
Would that I had never seen her.
Oh, sir. And had you left unseen a wonderful piece of work.
Fulvia's dead.
Sir.
Fulvia's dead.
Fulvia.
Dead.
And then, sir, give the gods a thankful sacrifice. If there were no more women but Fulvia, then had you a cut indeed, and a case to be lamented. This grief is crowned with consolation.
No more light answers. Let our officers have noticed what we purpose. I shall break the cause of our expedience to the queen and get her leave to part. For not alone the death of Fulvia, with more urgent touches, do strongly speak to us, but the letters too of many of our contriving friends in Rome do petition us at home.
Where is he? I did not see him since. See where he is, who he's with, what he does. I did not send you. If you find him sad, report that I am dancing. If in mirth, report that I am sudden sick. Quick, they return.
Madam, methinks if you did love him dearly, you do not hold the message to enforce the life from him.
What should I do? I do not.
In each thing, give him way, cross him nothing.
Thou teachest like a fool the way to lose him.
Tempt him not so too far, I wish forbear. In time we hate that which we often fear. Here comes Antony.
I am sick and sullen.
I am sorry to give breathing to my purpose.
Help me away to show me and I shall fall.
Now, most dear queen.
Nay! Stand no further from me. I know by that same eye there's some good news. What says the married woman? You may go. Would that she have never given you leave to come. Let her not say 'tis I that kept you here. I have no power upon you, hers you are.
The gods best know.
Never was there a queen so mightily betrayed. Yet at the first I saw the treasons planted.
Cleopatra.
Why should I think you can be mine in truth, though you in swearing shake the throned gods which have been false to Fulvia? Oh, riotous madness to be entangled in those mouth-made vows which break themselves in swearing.
Most sweet queen.
Nay, seek no color for your going, but bid farewell and go. When you sued staying, then was the time for words. No going then. Eternity was in our lips and eyes, bliss in our brows bent, none our hearts so poor before a race of heaven. They are so still. Or thou, the greatest soldier in the world, art turned the greatest liar.
How now, lady?
Oh, I would I had thou winches. Thou should know there were a heart in Egypt.
Hear me, queen. The strong necessity of time commands our services a while, but my full heart remains in use with you. Our Italy shines o'er with civil swords, and that which most with you should safe my going is Fulvia's death.
Can Fulvia die?
Look here, my queen, and at thy sovereign leisure read. See where and when she died.
Most false love. Where be the sacred vials thou shouldst fill with sorrowful water? Oh, now I see in Fulvia's death how mine received shall be.
Quarrel no more. I go from hence thy soldier, servant, making peace or war as thou affects.
So Fulvia told me. I prithee, turn aside, weep for her, then bid adieu to me and say the tears belong to Egypt. Come, play one scene of excellent dissembling and make it look like perfect honor.
You'll heat my blood no
Oh,
more.
you can do better yet.
Now by my sword!
And target still he mends. See, my women, how this Herculean Roman does become the carriage of his ship.
I'll leave you, lady.
Courteous. One word. Sir, you and I must part. Oh, but that's not it. Sir, you and I have loved. Oh, but there's not it that you know well. Something it is I would... Oh, my oblivion is a very Antony, and I have all forgotten.
That your royalty holds idleness your subject, I should take you for idleness itself.
'Tis sweating labor to bear such idleness so near the heart as Cleopatra this, but, sir, forgive me, since my becomings kill me when they do not eye well to you. Your honor calls you hence. Therefore be deaf to my unpitied folly, and may all the gods go with you. Upon your sword sit laurel victory, and may smooth success be strewn at your feet.
Let us go. Come, our separation so abides and flies, that thou residing here goes yet with me, and I, hence fleeting, here remain.
You may see, Lepidus, and henceforth know it is not Caesar's natural vice to hate our great competitor. From Alexandria, this is the news. He fishes, drinks, and wastes the lamp of night and revel. Hardly gave audience or vouchsafed to think he had partners. We shall find there a man who is the abstract of all faults that all men follow.
I must not think there are evils enough to darken all his goodness. His faults in him seem as but the spots in heaven, more fiery by night's blackness. Hereditary rather than purchased. What he cannot change than what he chooses.
You are too indulgent. Let us grant it is not amiss to tumble on the bed of Cleopatra, to give a kingdom for mirth, to sit and keep the turn of tippling with a slave, to reel the streets at noon and stand the buffet with knaves who smell of sweat. Say this becomes him, and his composure must be rare indeed, whom these things cannot blemish. Yet in no way must Antony excuse his soils when we do bear so great a weight in his likeness. But confound such time as drums him from his sport and speaks as loud to his own state and ours, 'tis to be chinned. As we rate boys who, being mature in knowledge, pawn their experience to their pleasant pleasure, and so rebel to judgment. Antony, leave thy lascivious wassails. When thou once was beaten from Modena, at thy heels did famine follow, whom thou fought against with patience more than savages could suffer. Thou didst drink the stale of horses, and from the gilded puddle which beasts would cough at. Thy palate then did deign on roughest berry, on rudest hedge. In the Alps it is said that thou didst eat strange flesh, which some would die to look on. And all this, it wounds thy honor to speak on it now, was born so much like a soldier, that thy cheek so much as blankered not.
'Tis pity of him.
Let his shames quickly drive him to Rome. 'Tis time we twain did show ourselves in the field, and to that end assemble we immediate council. Farewell.
Farewell, my lord.
Charmian! Madam! Give me to drink mandragora.
Why, madam?
That I might sleep out this great gap of time my Antony's away.
You think of him too much. 'Tis treason. Madam, I trust not so.
Iris! What is your highness's pleasure? Not now to hear thee sing. Hast thou affections?
Oh, yes, gracious madam.
Oh, Charmian, where thinks he is now? Stands he, or sits he? Or does he walk? Or is he on his horse? Oh, happy horse! horse to bear the weight of Antony. Do bravely, horse, but what's thou whom thou movest? The noble atlas of the earth, the arm and burgonet of men. He's speaking now, or murmuring, where is my serpent of old Nile? For so he calls me. Now I feed myself with most delicious poison. Oh, no! Julius Caesar, when thou wast here above the ground, I was a morsel for a monarch.
Sovereign of Egypt. Hail.
How goes it with my brave Mark Antony?
Last thing he did, dear queen, he kissed the last of many doubled kisses. This Orient pearl.
Ooh.
Good friend Bobbi, say the firm Roman to great Egypt sends this treasure of an oyster, at whose foot to mend the petty present I will piece her opulent throne with kingdoms. All the East, say thou, shall call her mistress.
What, was he sad or merry?
Like the time of the year between the extremes of hot and cold, he was nor sad nor merry.
Well divided disposition. Note him, good Charmian, 'tis the man, but note him. He was not sad, for he would shine on those that make their looks by his. He was not merry, which would seem to show that his joy lay in Egypt. Welcome, good Alexis. Did I, Charmian, ever love Julius Caesar so?
Oh, that brave Caesar!
No. Say, the valiant Antony.
The valiant Caesar!
All right, I will give thee bloody teeth if thou by Caesar paragon again my man of men.
By your most gracious pardon, I sing but after you.
My salad days when I was green in judgment, cold in blood, to say as I said then. But come, away! He shall have every day a several greeting, or I'll unpeople Egypt.
Tis a wonderful deed and will become you well to entreat your captain to soft and gentle speech.
I shall entreat him to answer like himself. If Caesar move him, let Antony look over Caesar's head and speak as loud as Mars.
Your speech is passionate. I pray you stir no embers up. Here comes the noble Antony.
Yonder Caesar.
Noble friends, that which combined us was most great. Then let not a leaner action rend us. What's amiss? Let it be gently heard. When we debate our trivial differences loud, we commit murder in healing wounds. Then, noble partners, the rather for I earnestly beseech, touch you the sourest points with sweetest terms, nor cursedness grow to the matter.
Welcome to Rome.
Thank you.
Sit.
Sit, sir.
Nay then.
I learn you take things ill which are not so, or being concern you not.
I must be laughed at. If or for nothing or a little, I should say myself offended. And with you, chiefly of the world. But the sound of your name had not concerned me.
My being in Egypt, Caesar, what was to you?
Oh, no more than my being in Rome might be to you in Egypt. Yet, if you did practice on my state, well, then your being in Egypt would be my question. Your wife and brother made wars on me. You were the word of war.
You do mistake your business. My brother never did urge me in his act. Did he not, rather, discredit my authority with yours, and make alike the wars against my stomach, having alike your cause? Of this, before my letters did satisfy you. If you'll patch a quarrel, it must not be with this.
You praise yourself by laying defects of judgment to me, but you patch up your excuses.
Not so. Not so. I know you could not lack. I am certain on very necessity of this thought, that I, your partner in the cause against which he fought, could not with graceful eyes attend those wars which fronted mine own peace. As for my wife, I would you had her spirit in such another. The third of the world is yours, which with a snaffle you may pace easy, but not such a wife.
Would we had all such wives, that the men might go to wars with the women.
I wrote you when riding in Alexandria. You did pocket up my letters with taunts to jibe my missive out of the audience.
Sir, he fell upon me ere admitted that free kings I had newly feasted, and did want of what I was in the morning. But next day I told him of myself, which was as much as to have asked him pardon. Let this fellow be nothing of our strife.
You have broken the article of your oath, which you shall never have tongue to charge me with.
Soft, Caesar.
Now, Lepidus, let him speak. The honor is sacred which he talks on now, supposing that I lacked it. But on, Caesar, the article of my oath.
To lend me arms and aid when I required them, the which you both deny.
Neglected, rather. Truth is that Fulvia, to have me out of Egypt, made wars here, for which myself, the ignorant motive, do so far ask pardon as befits mine honor to stoop in such a case.
It's nobly spoken. If it might please you to enforce no further the griefs between you. To forget them quite were to remember that the present need speaks to atone you.
Or if you borrow one another's love for the instant, you may return it again. You shall have time to wrangle in when you have nothing else to do.
Thou art a soldier only, speak no more.
That truth should be silent, I had almost forgot.
You wrong this presence, therefore speak no more.
Go to them, your considerate stone.
I do not much dislike the matter, but the manner of his speech. For it cannot be we remain in friendship, our conditions so differing in their acts. Yet if I knew what hoop would hold us staunch end to end o'er the world, I would pursue it.
Give me leave, Caesar.
Speak, Agrippa.
Thou hast a sister on the mother's side, admired Octavia. Great Mark Antony is now a widower.
Say not so, Agrippa. If Cleopatra heard you, your reproof would be want of rashness.
I am not married, Caesar. Let me hear Agrippa further speak.
To hold you in perpetual amity, to make you brothers, and to knit your hearts with an unslipping knot. Take Antony, Octavia to his wife, whose beauty claims no worse a husband than the best of men, whose virtue and whose general graces speak that which none else can utter. By this marriage, all little jealousies, which now seem great, and all great fears, which now import our dangers, would then be nothing. Truths would be tales, where now half tales be truths. Her love to both would, each to other, and all loves to both, draw after her. Pardon what I have spoken, for 'tis a study, not a present thought. By duty ruminated.
Will Caesar speak?
Not till he hears how Antony is touched, but is spoke already.
What power is in Agrippa, if I would say Agrippa be it so to make this good?
The power of Caesar, and his power unto Octavia.
May I never to this good purpose that so fairly shows dream of impediment. Let me have thy hand. Further this act of grace, and from this hour the heart of brothers govern in our loves and sway our great designs.
There is my hand, a sister I bequeath you, whom no brother did ever love so dearly. Let her live to join our kingdoms and our arms.
Happily, amen.
With most gladness, and will to my sister's you, whither straight I'll lead.
Give me some music. Music. Moody food of us that trade in love.
The music. Ho!
Oh, leave it alone. Let's to billiards. Charmian, come. I'll none now. Give me mine angle. Wheel to the river. There, my music playing far off, I will betray. Tawny finned fishes. My bended hook will pierce their slimy jaws, and as I draw them up, I'll think them everyone an Antony and say, aha, you're caught.
'Twas merry when you wagered on your angling, when your diver did hang a salt fish on his hook, which he with fervently drew.
Oh, that time! Oh, time! Woo! From Italy.
Madam? Madam.
Tony is dead. If thou say so, Diomedes, thou killst thy mistress. But, well and free, if thou so yield him, there is gold.
First, madam, he's well.
Ah, there's more gold. Ah, but, Sirrah Mark, we used to say the dead are well. Bring it to that, and the gold I give thee will I melt and pour down thy ill-uttering throat.
Good madam, hear me.
Go to, but there's no goodness in thy face.
Will it please you hear me?
I have a mind to strike thee ere thou speakst. Yet, if thou say Antonius is alive, or friends with Caesar, or not captive to him, I'll set thee in a shower of gold and hail rich pearls upon thee.
Madam, he's well.
Well said.
And friends with Caesar?
Oh, thou art an honest man.
Caesar and he are greater friends than ever.
Make thee a fortune from me.
But yet, madam.
I do not like but yet. Bring, friend, pour out the matter to mine ear, the good and bad together. Thou sayest he is friends of Caesar, is not captive to him, and is free.
Free, madam. No, I made no such report. He's bound unto Octavia.
For what good turn?
For the best turn in the bed.
I am pale, Charlotte.
He's married to Octavia.
The most infectious pestilence upon
But
thee.
madam, patience.
What say you?
Go.
Hence, horrible. I will spurn thine eyes like balls before me. I'll uncare thy head. Thou will be whipped with wire and stewed in brine.
Gracious, madam, I bet you bring the news made not the match.
Say it is not so in a province. I will give thee and make thy fortunes proud.
Married, madam.
Good madam, keep yourself within yourself. The man is innocent.
So innocent, escape not the thunderbolt. Melt each the denial and turn all kindly creatures to snakes. Call the slave again, though I am angry, I will not fight him. Call.
He is afeard to come.
I will not hurt him. These hands do lack nobility that strike a meaner than myself, though I myself have given myself the cause. Come hither, sir. Though it be honest, it is never good to bring bad news. Is he married? I cannot hate thee worser than I do if thou sayest again yes.
He's married, madam.
The gods are bound thee! Dost thou hold there still?
Should I lie, madam?
I would thou didst! So half my Egypt were submerged and made a cistern for scaled snakes! Go! Get thee hence.
I crave your highness's pardon.
He's married?
He's married to Octavia.
Get thee hence. The merchandise which thou hast brought from Rome are all too dear for me. Lie they upon your hand and be undone by them. Go!
Could your highness patience?
Praising Antony, I have dispraised Caesar.
Many times, madam.
I pay for it now. Charmian Iris. 'Tis no matter. Go to the fellow, good Alexis. Bid him report the feature of Octavia, her years, her inclination. Let him not leave out the color of her hair. Let him forever go. Let him not. Alexis! Bring me word how tall she is. Pity me, but don't speak to me. Lead me to my chamber.
The world and my great office will sometime divide me from your bosom.
All which time before the gods my knees shall bow my prayers to them for you.
Good night, sir. My Octavia. Read not my blemishes in the world's report. I have not kept my square. But that to come shall all be done by the rule. Good night, dear lady. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Now, Sirrah, you do wish yourself in Egypt.
Would I had never come from thence, nor you thither.
If you can, your reason.
I see it in my motion, have it not in my tongue. But yet, hie you to Egypt again.
Say to me, whose fortunes shall rise higher, Caesar's or mine?
Caesar, Antony, stay not by his side. Thy demon, that is thy spirit which keeps thee, is noble, courageous, high unmatchable where Caesar is not. But near him, thy angel becomes a feared as being o'erpowered. Therefore make space enough between you.
Speak this no more.
To none but thee. No more but when to thee. If thou dost play with him at any game, thou art sure to lose. And of that natural luck, he beats thee against the odds. I say again, thy spirit is all afraid to govern thee near him. But he away, 'tis noble.
Get thee gone!
He hath spoken truth. The very dice obey him, and in our sports my better cunning faints under his chance. I will to Egypt, though I make this marriage for my peace. In the east my pleasure lies.
What are the brothers parted? Octavia weeps to part from Rome, Caesar is sad, and Lepidus is troubled with the green sickness.
No further, sir.
You take from me a great part of myself, sir. Use me well in it. Sister, prove such a wife as my thoughts make. Most noble Antony, 'twere better we had love without this mean, if on both sides this not be cherished.
Make me not offended in your distrust.
I have said.
You shall not find, though you be therein curious, the least cause of what you seem to fear. So the gods keep you and make the hearts of Romans serve your ends. We will here part.
Farewell, sister. Fare thee well. The elements be kind to thee and make thy spirits all of comfort. Farewell.
My noble brother.
The April's in her eyes. It is love's spring, and these the showers to bring it on. Be cheerful.
What, Octavia?
I'll tell you in your ear.
No, dear sister. You shall hear from me still. The time will not outgo my thinking on you.
Come, sir, come. I must wrestle with you in my strength of love. Look, here I have you. Thus I let you go. Give you to the gods.
Adieu. Be happy.
May all the number of the stars give light to thy fair way.
Farewell!
Where is the fellow? Go to. Come hither, sir.
Gracious madam,
Didst thou behold Octavia?
I dread queen.
Where?
Madam, in Rome. I looked her in the face and saw her led between her brother and Mark Antony.
Is she as tall as me?
She's not, madam.
Didst hear her speak? Is she shrill-tongued or low?
Madam, I did hear her speak. She is low-voiced.
That's not so good. You cannot like her for long.
Like her? Oh, Isis, 'tis impossible.
You think so, charming, dull of tongue and dwarfish. What majesty is her gait? Remember, if e'er thou lookst on majesty.
Creeps.
Is this certain?
Or I have no observance.
Three in Egypt cannot make better note.
He is very knowing, I do perceive it. There's nothing in her yet. The fellow has good judgment.
Excellent.
Guess at her years, I pray.
Madam, she was a widow.
Oh, widow, charming!
And I do think she's 30.
Best her face in mind. Is long or round?
Round, even to faultiness.
For the most part, they are foolish that are so. Her hair, what color?
Brown, madam, and her forehead is as low as she would wish it.
There's gold for thee. Thou must not take my former sharpness ill. I find thee most fit for business and will employ thee again. Go to, our letters are prepared.
A proper man.
Indeed, he is so. Methinks by him this creature's no such thing.
Nothing, madam.
The man hath seen some majesty and should know.
Hath he seen majesty? Oh, Isis else defend and serving you so long.
All may be well enough.
Nay, Octavia, not only that were excusable, that and thousands more of semblable import, but he hath made his will, read it through public ear, spoke scantly of me. When perforce he could not but pay me terms of honor, cold and sickly he vented them, most narrow measure lent me. When the best hint was given him, he not took't, or did it from his teeth.
Oh, my good lord, believe not all. Or if you must believe, stomach not all. A more unhappy lady, if this division chance ne'er stood between, praying for both parts. The good gods will mock me presently when I shall pray. Bless my lord and husband. Undo that prayer by crying out as loud, oh, bless my brother. Husband win, brother prays, and destroys the prayer. No midway twixt these extremes at all.
Gentle Octavia, let your best love draw to that point which best seeks to preserve it. If I lose my honor, I lose myself. Better I were not yours than yours so branchless. But as you requested, yourself shall go between us. Meantime, lady, I'll raise preparation of a war shall stain your brother. Make your soonest haste, so your desires are yours.
Thanks to my lord. The Jove of power made me most weak your reconciler. War twixt you twain would be as if the world should cleave, and that slain men should solder up the rift.
Provide your going. Choose what company and command what cost your heart has mind.
How now, friend Eros?
There's strange news come, sir.
What man?
Caesar presently accuses Lepidus of treason, seizes him, so the poor third is up till death enlarge his confines.
A great navy's rigged. Bring me to Antony.
Contemning Rome, he has done all this and more in Alexandria. Cleopatra and himself, in chairs of gold, were publicly enthroned. To her, he gave the establishment of Egypt, made her absolute queen.
All this in the public eye.
Common showplace where they exercise.
Let Rome be thus informed.
People know it, and have now received his accusations.
Who does he accuse?
Caesar? Does he say he lent me some shipping, unrestored? Lastly, he frets that Lepidus of the triumvirate should be deposed, and being that we detain all his revenue.
Sir, this should be answered.
'Tis done. The messenger gone already. I have told him Lepidus was grown too cruel, that he, his high authority, abused and did deserve his change. For what I have taken, I will grant him part, but then in his conquered kingdoms I demand the like.
He'll never yield to that.
Or must not be yielded to in this.
Hail Caesar and my lord. Hail most dear Caesar.
that ever I should call thee castaway.
You have not called me so, nor have you cause.
Why have you stolen upon us thus? Come not like Caesar's sister. The wife of Antony should have an army for an usher, and knaves of horse to tell of her approach long ere did she appear. You are come a market maid to Rome.
Good my lord, to come thus was I not constrained, but did on my free will. My lord Mark Antony, hearing that you prepared for war, acquainted my grieving ear withal, whereon I begged his pardon for return.
Which he soon granted, being an obstruct between his lust and him.
Not say so, my lord.
I have eyes upon him, and his affairs come to me thus in the wind. Where is he now?
My lord in Athens.
No. My most wronged sister, Cleopatra, hath knotted him to her. He has given his army up to a whore who is now levying the kings of the earth for war.
Ay me, most wretched, that have my heart parted betwixt two friends that do afflict each other.
Welcome to Rome. Your letters did withhold our breaking forth, till we perceived both how you were wrongly led, and we in negligent danger. Cheer your heart. Welcome to Rome, nothing more dear to me. You are abused beyond the mark of God. Best of comfort, and ever welcome to us.
Welcome, lady.
Welcome, dear madam. Each heart in Rome does love and pity you.
Is it so, sir?
Most certain. Sister, welcome. Pray you be ever known to patience, my dear sister.
I will be even with thee, doubt it not.
But why? Why? Why?
Thou hast forspoke my being in these wars and say she is not fit.
Well, is it? Is it?
If not denounced against us, why should not we be there in person?
Your presence needs must puzzle Antony. Take from his brain, take from his heart, from his time, what should not then be spared? He has already traduced for levity, and 'tis said in Rome that your maids manage this war.
Seek Rome, and their tongues rot that speak against us. A charge we bear through the war, as president of my kingdom will appear there for a man. Speak not against it, I will not stay behind.
Nay, I have done. Here comes the emperor.
Canidius, we will fight with him at sea.
Let's see, what else?
Why will my lord do so?
For that he dares us to it.
So hath my lord dared him to single fight.
Aye, but these offers which served not for his vantage he shakes off. And so should you.
Your ships are not well manned. Your mariners are muleteers. Their ships are yours heavy. No disgrace shall fall you for refusing him at sea, being prepared for land.
By sea! By sea!
Most worthy sir, you therein throw away the absolute soldiership you have by land. Distract your army, which doth most consist of war-marked footmen. Leave unexecuted your own renowned knowledge. Quite forgo the way which promises assurance, and give up yourself merely to chance and hazard from firm security.
I'll fight at sea!
I have 60 sail, Caesar none better.
Canidius, thou shalt hold our 19 legions by land and our 12,000 horse. Wheel to our ship!
By Hercules, I think I am in the right.
Canidius, thou art. But his old action grows not of the power on't. So our leaders led. But we are women's men.
My lord, strike not by land! Keep hold! Provoke not battles we have done at sea! Do not exceed the prescript of this scroll! Our fortune lies upon the ship!
Set we our squadrons on yon side of the hill in eye at Caesar's battle, from which place we may the number of the ships behold, and so proceed accordingly.
We have kissed away kingdoms and provinces.
How appears the fight?
On our side, like the token pestilence, he once speaks, the noble ruler of magic, Antony, flaps on his sea wing and like a doting mallard, leading the flight that night flies after her. I never saw an action of such shame.
Alack, alack!
Our fortune on the sea is out of breath, and sinks most lamentably. Had our general been what he knew himself, it had gone well.
And then good night indeed.
To Caesar will I render my legions and my horse. 6 kings already show me the way of yielding.
I'll yet follow the wounded chance of Antony. For my reason sits in the wind against me.
The land bids me tread no more upon it, is ashamed to bear me. I have fled myself. I have lost my way forever and have shown cowards to turn their shoulders and run. Friends, be gone. I have myself resolved upon a course that has no need of you. Be gone. I have followed that I blush to look upon. Leave me, I pray, a little. I pray you. Nay, do so, for indeed I have lost command. Therefore, I pray you. I'll see you by and by.
Nay, gentle madam, to him, comfort him.
Do, most dear queen.
Do.
No, no, no.
See, you hear, sir.
Fie, fie, fie.
Madam, O good empress.
Sir. Sir.
Yes, my lord, yes. He, at the battle of Philippi, kept his sword, e'en like a dancer, while I struck the lean and wrinkled Cassius, and 'twas I that the mad Brutus ended. He alone dealt on lieutenantry, and no practice had in the brave squares of war, yet now, no matter!
Queen, my lord, the queen.
Go to him, madam. Speak to him, he's unqualified with very shame.
Offended reputation!
Sir, the queen.
Whither hast thou led me, Egypt?
My lord, forgive my fearful sales. I had little thought you would have followed.
Thou knewst too well my heart was to thy rudder tied by the strings, and thou shouldst tow me after. O'er my spirit thy full supremacy thou knewst, and that thy beck might from the bidding of the gods command me.
My pocket.
Now I must to the young man send humble treaties, dodge and palter in the shifts of lowness, who with half the bulk of the world played as I pleased, making and marring fortunes. You did know how much you were my conqueror, and that my sword made weak by my affection would obey it on all cause.
Pardon. Pardon.
Fall not a tear, I say. One of them rates all that is won and lost. Give me a kiss. Love, I am full of lead. We sent our soothsayer to Caesar. Has it come back? Some wine within there. Fortune knows we scorn her most when most she offers blows.
Let him approach that's come from Antony. Know you him? Caesar, 'tis his soothsayer, an argument that he is plucked. When hither he sends so poor opinion off his wing, which had superfluous kings for messengers not many moons gone by. Approach and speak.
Such as I am, I come from Antony. Lord of his fortunes, he salutes thee, and requires to live in Egypt. Which not granted, he lessens his requests, and to these Jews to let him breathe between the heavens and the earth a private man in Athens. This for him. Next, Cleopatra does confess thy greatness, submits her to thy might, and of thee craves the circle of the Ptolemies for her heirs now hazarded to thy grace.
For Antony, I have no ears for his request. The queen of audience nor desire shall fail, so she from Egypt drive her all disgraced friend, or take his life there. This if she performs, she shall not sue unheard. So to them both.
Fortune pursue thee.
Try eloquence now. 'Tis time. Dispatch! From Antony, win Cleopatra. Promise, and in our name what strength of comfort she requires, add more of thine invention offers. Women are not in their best fortune strong, but want will perjure the ne'er-touched vestal. Try thy cunning, Phidias.
What shall we do, Enobarbus?
Think and die.
Is Antony or we in fault for this?
Antony only. That would make his will lord of his reason. What though you fled from that great face of war? Why should he follow?
Prithee, peace.
Is that his answer?
Aye, my lord.
The queen shall then have courtesy, so she will yield us up.
He says so.
Let her know it. To the boy, Caesar, send this grizzled head, and he will fill thy wishes to the brim with principalities.
That head, my lord.
To him again. Tell him he wears the rose of youth upon him, from which the world should note something particular. I dare him, therefore, to lay his gay comparisons aside and answer me declined, sword against sword, ourselves alone. All right, follow me.
A messenger from Caesar.
What? No more ceremony? See, my women, against the blown rose may they stop their nose that kneeled unto the buds. Admit him, sir.
Mine honesty and I begin to square. The loyalty well held to fools does make our faith mere folly.
Caesar's will?
Here depart.
None but friends, say boldly.
So happily are they friends to Antony.
He needs as many, sir, as Caesar has, or needs not us.
So, thus then, thou most renowned, Caesar entreats not to consider in which case thou standst further than he is Caesar.
Go on, right royal.
He knows that you embrace not Antony as you did love, but as you feared him.
Oh!
The scars upon your honor, therefore, he does see as constrained blemishes, not as deserved.
He is a god, and knows what is most right. Mine honor was not yielded, but conquered merely.
Be sure of that, I will ask Antony.
Shall I say to Caesar what you require of him? It much would please him that of his fortunes you should make a staff to lean upon. But it would warm his spirits to hear from me that you had left Antony and put yourself under his shroud, the universal landlord.
What's your name?
My name is Phidias.
Say to great Caesar this. In deputation I kiss his conquering hand. Tell him I am prompt to lay my crown at his feet and there to kneel. Tell him from his all-obeying breath I hear the doom of Egypt.
'Tis your noblest course. Give me grace to lay my duty on your hand.
Your Caesar's father's oft, when he hath mused of taking kingdoms in, bestowed his lips on that unworthy place as it rain kisses.
Favors! By Jove that thunders, what art thou, fellow?
One that but performs the bidding of the fullest man, and the worthiest to have command obeyed.
You'll be whipped.
Approach there. You kite. Now, gods and devils, authority melts from me. Of late, when I cried home like boys to a muss, kings would start forth and cry, your will. Have you no ears? I am Antony. Take hence this jack and whip him. Moon and stars, whip him. Weren't 20 of the greatest tributaries that do acknowledge Caesar, should I find them so saucy with the hand of she here? What's her name? Since she was Cleopatra. Whip him, fellows, till like a boy you see him cringe his face and whine aloud for mercy. Take him hence.
Mark Antony!
Turn him away! Being whipped, bring him again. This jack of Caesar's shall bear us an errand to him. You were half blasted ere I knew. Have I my pillow left unpressed in Rome? Forborne the getting of a lawful race, and by a gem of women to be abused by one that looks on feeders.
Good my lord.
You have been a Bobbi.
Let's come to this.
I found you as a morsel cold upon dead Caesar's trencher, besides what hotter hours unregistered in vulgar fame you have so luxuriously picked out. For I am sure, though you can guess what temperance should be, you know not what it is.
Wherefore is this?
To let a fellow that will take rewards and say, God quit you, be familiar with my playfellow, your hand, this kingly seal and plighter of hearts. Oh, that I were upon the hill of Basan to outroar the horned herd, for I have savage cause, and to proclaim it civilly were like the halter neck, which does the hangman thank for being yar about him. Is he whipped?
Soundly, my lord.
Cried he and begged a pardon.
He did ask favor.
Get thee back to Caesar. Tell him thy entertainment. Look, thou say he makes me angry with him, for he seems proud and disdainful, harping on what I am, not what he knew I was. He makes me angry, and at this time most easy 'tis to jute, when my good stars, that were my former guides, have empty left their orbs, and shot their fires into the abysm of hell. Be gone!
Have you done yet?
To flatter Caesar, would you mingle eyes with one that ties his points?
Not know me yet?
Cold-hearted toward me!
Oh, dear, if I be so! From my cold heart, let heaven engender hail and poison it in the source. And the first stone drop in my neck, as it determines so dissolve my life. The next Caesarean smite till by degree in the memory of my womb, together with my brave Egyptians, all by the discanting of this pelleted storm like ravens, to the flies and gnats of Nile, and bury them for prey!
I am satisfied! Caesar sits down in Alexandria, where I will oppose his fate. Dost thou hear, lady? If from the field I shall return once more to kiss these lips, I will appear in blood. I and my sword will earn our chronicle. There's hope in yet.
That's my brave lord.
Come, let's have one other gaudy night. Call to me, all my sad captains! Fill our bowls once more, let's mock the midnight bell!
It's my birthday. I had thought to hold it poor, but since my lord is Antony, again I will be Cleopatra.
Come on, my queen. There's sap in yet. The next time I do fight, I'll make death love me.
Now he'll outstare the lightning. curious as to be frighted out of fear, and in that mood the dove will peck the estrich. And I see still a diminution in our captain's brain restores his heart. When valor preys on reason, it eats the sword it fights with. I will seek some way to leave him.
Come, mine armor, Eros. Fortune be not ours today, it is because we brave. Come.
I'll help. Thus it must be.
Well, we shall thrive now. Oh, love, that thou couldst see my wars today and knewest the royal occupation. Fare thee well, David, whate'er becomes of me. This is the soldier's kiss. Adieu.
Please, you retire to your chamber.
Lead me. He goes forth gallantly, that he and Caesar might determine this war in single fight.
Call for Enobarbus.
Sir, he is with Caesar. His chests and treasures he has not with him.
What sayest thou? Is he gone?
Most certain.
Go, Eros. Send his treasure after. Do it. Detain no jot, I charge thee. And write to him. I'll subscribe. Gentle adieus and greetings. Say that I wish he never find more cause to change a master. Dispatch. My fortunes have corrupted honest men. Enobarbus.
He calls me boy, and chides as he had power to beat me out of Egypt. My messenger he had whipped with rods, dares me to personal combat, Caesar to Antony. Let the old ruffian know I have many other ways to die.
When one so great begins to rage, he's hunted, even to fall.
Let the best of our heads know that today the last of many battles we mean to fight. Within our file are those who served Mark Antony of late. Enough to fetch him in. See it done. Go forth, Agrippa, and begin the fight. Our will is Antony be took alive. Make it so now.
Caesar, I shall.
The time of universal peace is near. Prove this a prosperous day, and the three-nooked world shall bear the olive free.
Enobarbus, Antony hath after thee sent all thy treasure, with his bounty overplus.
I give it you.
Mock not, Enobarbus. I tell you true.
I am alone, the villain of the earth, and feel I am so most. This blows my heart. Sovereign mistress of true melancholy, the poisonous damp of night to sponge upon me, that life, a very rebel to my will, may hang no longer on me. Throw my heart against the flint and hardness of my fault, which being dried with grief will break to powder and finish all foul thoughts. Oh, Antony, nobler than my revolt is infamous. Forgive me in thine own particular, but let the world rank me in register, a master leaver and a fugitive. Oh, Antony! Oh, Antony! From the top!
our approach. Their preparation is today by sea. We please them not by land. I would they fight in the fire or in the air. We fight there too.
By being charged, we will be still by land, which as I take it we shall. For his best force is forth to man his galleys, to the barrels, and hold our best advantage.
Swallows have built in Cleopatra's sails their nests. Antony is valiant and dejected, and by starts his spreaded fortunes give him hope and fear of what he has and has not.
All is lost. This foul Egyptian hath betrayed me. My fleet have yielded to the foe, and yonder they cast their caps and carouse together like friends long lost. Triple turned whore, 'tis thou hast sold me to this novice, and my heart makes only wars on thee. Bid them all fly! When I am revenged upon my charm, I have done all. Bid them all fly, be gone! Oh, son, thy uprise I shall see no more. Fortune and Antony part here. Even here do we shake hands. All come to this. The hearts that spanieled me at heels, to whom I gave their wishes, do discandy, melt their sweets on blossoming Caesar. And this pine is bark that overtopped them all. Betrayed I am. Oh, this false soul, Egypt. This grave charm, whose eye becked forth my wars and called them home. Whose bosom was my crownet, my chief end. That like a right gypsy at fast and loose beguiled me to the very heart of Ros. The spell of vaunt.
Why is my lord enraged against his love?
Vanish, or I shall give thee thy deserving and blemish Caesar's triumph. Let him take thee and hoist thee up to the shouting plebeians. Follow his chariot like the greatest spot of all thy sex, most monster-like. Be shown for forced diminutives, for doits. And let patient Octavia plow thy visage up with her prepared nails. Ah! 'Tis well thou art gone, if it be well to live. But better 'twere thou fell'st into my fury. For one death might have prevented many. The witch shall die. To the young Roman boy she hath sold me, and I fall under this plot. She dies for it. Eros, how?
Help me! My women, or he's more mad!
To the monument! There lock yourself and send him word you are dead. The soul and body ride not more in parting than greatness going off.
To the monument! Iris, go tell Antony I have slain myself. Say that the last I spoke was Antony, and word it, prithee, piteously. Go, bring me word how he takes my death. To the monument.
Eros? Thou yet beholdst me?
Aye, my lord.
Sometime we see a cloud that's dragonish. A vapor sometime like a bear, lion. towered citadel, or a pendant rock, a forked mountain, or blue promontory with trees upon, that nod unto the world and mock our eyes with air. Thou hast seen these signs, they are black vespers pageants.
Aye, noble lord.
That which is now a horse, even with the thought, the rack dislimbs and makes indistinct, as water is in water.
It does, my lord.
Eros, now thy captain is even such a body. Here I am, Antony. It cannot hold this visible shape, my name. I made these whores for Egypt, and the queen, whose heart I thought I had, for she had mine, which whilst it was mine had annexed unto it 1,000,000 more, now lost. She, Eros, has packed cards with Caesar and false played my glory unto an enemy's triumph. There is left us ourselves to end ourselves. Thy vile lady, she hath robbed me of my sword.
Oh, Antony, my mistress loved thee, and her fortunes mingled with thine entirely.
She has betrayed me and shall die the death.
Death of one can be papered once, and that she has discharged. What thou doest done unto thy hand? The last she spake was Antony, most noble Antony, and a tearing groan did break the name of Antony. It was divided between her heart and lips. She rendered life thy name so buried in her.
Dead then?
Dead.
Unarmed Eros. The long day's task is done and we must sleep. That thy departst hence safe does pay thy labor richly. Go. Off. Pluck off. The sevenfold shield of Ajax cannot keep the battery from my heart. Apace, Eros, apace! No more a soldier. From me a while. I will o'ertake thee, Cleopatra, and weep for my pardon. So it must be, for now, all length is torture. Since the torch is out, lie down and stray no farther. Eros! I come, my queen! Eros! Stay for me. Where souls do couch on flowers will hand in hand, and with our sprightly port make the ghosts gaze. Eros! Eros!
Oh, what would my lord?
Since Cleopatra died, I have lived in such dishonor that the gods detest my baseness. I that with my sword quartered the world, and o'er green Neptune's back with ships made cities, condemn myself to lack the courage of a woman. Less noble mind than she, which by her death our Caesar tells I am conqueror of myself. Thou art sworn, Eros, that when the exigent is come, which now is come indeed, when I should see behind me the inevitable prosecution of disgrace and horror, that on my command thou then wouldst kill me. Do it, Eros. The time has come. Thou strikest not me. 'Tis Caesar thou defeast. Put color in thy cheek.
The gods withhold me.
Eros, wouldst thou be windowed in great Rome, and see thy master thus, with pleached arms, bending down his corrigible neck, his face subdued to penetrative shame, whilst the wheeled seat of fortunate Caesar drawn before him branded his baseness that ensued?
I would not see it.
Come! But then with a wound I must be cured. Draw that thy honest sword.
Oh, sir, pardon me.
When I did make thee free, sworest thou not then to do this when I bade thee? Draw and come!
Turn from me then, that noble countenance.
Bobbi.
My dear master, my captain and my emperor, let me say before I strike this bloody stroke, farewell.
'Tis said, man, and farewell.
Farewell, great chief. Shall I strike now?
Now, Eros.
Why? There then. Thus do I escape the sorrow of Antony's death.
Thrice nobler than myself. Thou teachest me, O valiant Eros, what I should do, and thou couldst not. Amen. And thy master dies, thy scholar. To do thus, I learned of thee. Not dead! Not dead!
Star is fallen, and time is at his period.
He that loves me, strike me dead!
Most absolute lord, Cleopatra sent me to thee.
When did she send me?
Now, my lord. She had a prophesying fear of what hath come to pass. She sent you word she was dead. But fearing since how it might work, she sent me to proclaim the truth. And I am come, I dread, too late.
Too late. Bear me where Cleopatra bides. 'Tis the last service I shall command you.
What heavy day!
Today, do not please sharp fate to grace it with your sorrows. Bid that welcome which comes to punish us, and we punish it, seeming to bear it lightly.
Charmian, I will never go from hence.
Be comforted, dear madam.
No, I will not. Strange and terrible events are welcome, but comforts we despise. Our sighs of sorrow proportioned to our cause must be as great as that which makes it. Son! Burn the great sphere thou movest in! Darkling strand the war-bearing shore of the world! Antony! Antony! Iris! Charmian, help!
Dying Egypt, dying. Only I hear importune death awhile, until a many thousand kisses. The poor last, I lay up thy lips.
I dare not, dear my lord, forgive me, I dare not. I am safe lest I be taken, but come! We must bear thee up. Help me! My women assist, good friends! And welcome! Die where thou hast lived. Quicken with my kissing had my lips that power, thus would I wear them out.
I am dying, Egypt, dying. Give me some wine and let me speak a little.
Nay, let me speak. And let me rail so high that the false housewife Fortune break her wheel provoked by my offense.
One word, sweet queen of Caesar. Seek thy honor with thy safety.
We do not go together.
None about Caesar trusts but a grip.
My resolution and my hands I'll trust none about Caesar.
This miserable change, now at my end, lament no sorrow at. But please your thoughts in feeding them on those my former fortunes, wherein I lived, the greatest prince of the world, the noblest, and do not now basely die, not cowardly put off my helmet to my countrymen. A Roman, by a Roman, valiantly vanquished. My spirit is going. I can no more.
Noblest of men will die. Hast thou no care of me? Shall I abide in this world which in thy absence is no better than a sty? See, my women, the crown of the earth doth melt. How withered is the garland of war. The soldier's pole is fallen. Young boys and girls are level now with men. The Oz is gone. And there is nothing left remarkable beneath the visiting moon. Lady! Madam! My allegiance, O good Empress! No more. But eat a woman, and best commended by such poor passion as the maid that milks and does the meanest chairs. It were for me to throw my scepter at the injurious gods and say that this world did equal theirs till they'd stolen our jewel. All's for naught. Patience is Scottish. And impatience does become a dog that's mad. And is it sin to rush into the secret house of death? Ere death there come to us. Iris, Charmian, good cheer. My noble girl. Look. Our lamp is spent. It's out. The case of that huge spirit now is cold. Come. Away. We have no friend now but resolution and the briefest end.
Wherefore is that? And what art thou that darest appear thus to us?
I say, O Caesar, Antony is dead.
The breaking of so great a thing should make a greater crack. The round world should have shook lions to the streets and citizens to their dens.
He is dead, Caesar. This is his sword. Behold, it's stained with his most noble blood.
Look you said, friends. The gods rebuke me, but it is tidings to wash the eyes of kings. And yet, let me lament, with tears as sovereign as the blood of hearts, that thou, my brother, my mate, an empire, friend and competitor and top of all design, the arm of my own body, and the heart where mine his thoughts did kindle. Oh, Antony, that our stars unreconcilable should divide our equalness to this.
The queen, my mistress, confined in all she has her monument of thy intense desires instruction.
Bid her have good heart. She soon shall know of us by some of ours how honorable and how kindly we determined for her. For Caesar cannot live to be ungentle.
So the gods preserve thee.
Come here, Agrippa. Go and say we purpose her no shame. Give her what presence the strength of her passion shall require, lest in her greatness by some mortal act she do defeat us. For her life in Rome would be eternal in our triumph.
Caesar, I shall.
Desolation does begin to make a better life. 'Tis paltry to be Caesar. He's not fortune, fortune's knave, a minister to her will.
Cleopatra, Caesar sends greeting to the Queen of Egypt. Bids thee to study on what fair demands thou meanest to have him grant thee.
What's thy name?
My name is Agrippa.
Antony did tell me of you, bade me trust you, but I do not care greatly to be deceived that have no use in trusting. If your master would have a queen, his beggar, that majesty to keep decorum must no less beg than a kingdom. If he please to give me conquered Egypt for my son, he give me much of mine own, and I will kneel to him in thanks.
Be of good cheer.
You're fallen into a princely hand. Fear nothing. Give your full reference freely to my lord, who's so full of grace.
Pray you, tell him I am his fortune's vassal, and I send him the greatness he has got. I hourly learn a doctrine of obedience, and would gladly look him in the face.
This I'll report, dear lady. Have comfort, for I know your plight is pity of him that caused it. Stop! Hold, worthy lady, hold! Do not yourself this wrong, who are in this relieved, but not betrayed.
What of death too, that rids our dogs of languish?
Cleopatra, do not abuse my master's bounty by the undoing of yourself. Let the world see his nobleness.
Where art thou, death?
Oh, temperance, lady!
Sir, I will eat no meat. I'll not drink. Sir, if idle talk once be necessary, I'll not sleep, neither. This mortal house I'll ruin, do Caesar what he can. Know, sir, that I will not wait pinioned at your master's court, nor will I be chastised by the sober eye of dull Octavia. Shall they hoist me up and show me to the shouting varletry of censuring Rome? Rather a ditch in Egypt be gentle grave unto me. Rather on Nilus mud lay me stark naked and let the waterflies blow me into abhorring. Rather make my country's high pyramids my gibbet and hang me up in chains.
Hear me, good madam! Your loss is as yourself great. You bear it as answering to the weight. Would I might never o'ertake pursued success, but I do feel, by the rebound of yours, grief that smites my very heart at root.
Thank you, sir. Know you what Caesar means to do with me?
I am loath to tell you what I would you knew.
Nay, pray you, sir.
Though he be honorable.
He'll lead me then in triumph.
Madam, he will. I know it.
Which is the Queen of Egypt? Rise. Rise, that you shall not kneel. I pray you rise, Egypt.
My master and my lord, I must obey.
Take you to no hard thoughts. The record of what injuries you did us we shall remember as things done, but by chance.
So, sir of the world, I cannot project my own cause so well to make it clear, but do confess I have been laden with the frailties that often shame our sex.
Cleopatra. No, we will extenuate rather than enforce. If you apply yourself to our intents, towards which you seem most gentle, you shall find a benefit in this change. Yet, if you seek to lay on me a cruelty by taking Antony's course, you shall bereave yourself of my good purpose. I'll take my leave.
And may, through all the world, 'tis yours, and we, your scutchings and your signs of conquest, shall hang in what place you please.
No, my dear queen, our care and pity is so much upon you that we remain your friend. And so adieu.
My master and my lord.
Not so. Adieu.
He words me, girls, he words me that I should not be noble unto myself. But hark me, Jerome.
Finish. Good lady, the bright day is done, and we are for the jar.
I have spoken, it is provided, go put it to the house.
Madam, I will.
Iris, what thinkest thou? Now an Egyptian puppet shall be shown in Rome as well as I. Mechanic slaves with greasy aprons shall uplift us to the view.
The gods forbid.
Nay, 'tis most certain.
Good God.
No, that's certain, Iris. Saucy lictors will catch at us like strumpets, and scald rhymers ballad us out of tune. The quick comedians extemporally will stage us and present our Alexandrian revels. Antony will be brought drunken forth, and I shall see some squeaking Cleopatra boy my greatness in the posture of a whore.
I'll never see it. For I am sure my nails are stronger than mine eyes.
That's the way to fool their preparations and conquer their most absurd intents. Now, show me my women like a queen. Time again for Sidnus to meet Mark Antony. Good Iris, go. Now, noble Charlotte, we'll dispatch indeed. Once thou hast done this noble share, I'll give thee leave to play till doomsday. Bring our crown and all. Wherefore's this noise?
He is the soothsayer. It will not be denied your highness's presence. He brings you fates.
Let him come in. Poor instrument may do a noble deed. He brings me liberty. My resolution is placed. Now I have no more of woman in me. Now from head to foot I am marble constant. Now the fleeting moon, no planet is of mine. Avoid and leave him. Hast thou the pretty worm of Nihilus there that kills and pains not?
Truly, I have him. But I would not be party that should desire you to touch him, for his biting is immortal. Those that do die of it do seldom or never recover.
Take thee no care, it shall be heeded. We'll get thee gone. Farewell.
I wish you joy of the worm.
Bring me my crown. Put on my robe. I have immortal longings in me now. Now no more the juice of Egypt shall moist this lip. Yar, yar, good Iris, quick! Methinks I hear Antony call. I see him rouse himself to praise my noble act. I hear him mock the luck of Caesar, which the gods give men to excuse their after wrath. Husband, I come. Now to that name, my courage prove my title. I am fire and air. My other elements I leave to baser life. So have you done. warmth of my lips. Farewell, kind Sharky. Iris. Long farewell. The mighty aspect in my lips just fall. If thou in nature can so gently part the stroke of death as a lover's pinch which hurts in his desire, dost thou lie still? Thou tell'st the world it is not worth leave taking.
Dissolve thick cloud and rain, that I may say the gods themselves do weep.
Come, thou mortal wretch. With thy sharp teeth, thy knot, intrinsicate of life at once untie. Poor venomous fool, dispatch and be angry. Couldst thou speak that I might hear thee call great Caesar ass on policy?
Oh, Eastern star!
Peace, peace. Dost thou not see my baby at my breast, which sucks the nurse's sleep?
Break, oh, break!
Sweet as air, as gentle. Oh, Antony. What should I say?
In this vile world, so fare thee well. Now boast thee dead, and thy possession lies alas unparalleled. Downy windows closed, and golden Phoebus never beheld of eyes again so loyal. Your crowns awry, I'll mend it.
Where's the
Then
queen?
play. Speak softly, wake her not.
Caesar hath sent.
Too slow a messenger! Come apace, dispatch, I portly feel thee.
What work is here? Charmian, is this well done?
It is well done and fitting for a princess descended of so many royal kings. Ah, soldier!
Oh, sir, you are too sure an augur. That you did fear is done.
Bravest to the last. She leveled in our purposes, and being royal, took her own life. She looks like sleep, as if she would catch another Antony in her strong toil of grace. She shall be buried by her Antony. No grave shall clip in it a pair so famous.